Coming next, to look at how albums escape into the wild before they're really supposed to.
More of The Secret History of Rock coming up. Back to The Secret History of Rock with Alan Cross.
Making an album is hard work, and when you're finally finished, you, as an artist, want to make sure that your baby makes as much of a splash as possible when it finally gets released. This is where your record label comes in, because labels are marketing machines. Their job is to set up a release for maximum impact in a very crowded and very competitive marketplace. Timing is absolutely bloody essential. All the publicity, all the hype, the distribution, the radio promotions, the music videos, the touring and interviews, all have to be coordinated so that on the day the record comes out, the public is prepared and hungry. All this, however, is predicated on keeping the album under wraps and away from the public until that appointed day. That, however, is very, very difficult. Welcome to the world of the album leak, those occasions when a record slips into the wild before it's supposed to. And when this happens, it can be a disaster. All that work, all those plans, all that coordination, all that money is in jeopardy. The fear is that the record will hit the marketplace at the wrong time and that no one will buy the album when it does come out. So how do albums get leaked? Well, there are plenty of places in the pipeline where things can go wrong. Here are several case studies. The first has to do with U2. When they were making the Achtung Baby album in Berlin, many musical fragments and song items were committed to dozens of cassette tapes. But in April 1991, months before the record was to be released, a 3-disc bootleg called the Salome Sessions started showing up in various places around the world. The official story was that some of these cassettes had been stolen from one of the band's hotel rooms in Berlin. Another story, and this is the one that I like, says that a maid found some discarded cassettes in a trash can in the Edge's hotel room. Whatever the case, immature and unfinished versions of songs that would appear on the album were suddenly available to the public. Now, this was in the years before the MP3, so the only way to get a copy of these recordings was through some bootleg label. That mitigated the damage somewhat, couldn't spread quite as quickly. Of course, Achtung Baby was eventually finished and released, and many fans considered this to be U2's finest record. And 20 years later, U2 was a lot less touchy about those missing tapes. The official deluxe reissue of the album featured a disc called Kindergarten, which featured some of those apparently stolen demos. And here's a big surprise. Just about a week before that reissue hit the stores, MP3s of that disc of the stolen tracks was leaked on the internet. Some symmetry there, I guess. Take a listen to this. It's an early version of one of the big singles from the record.